to Market Core, where money meets culture. I'm Ploy, and today we're going to break down billion-dollar fandoms, tech shakeups, and power plays shaping the global market. First up, how a K-pop movie just turned creativity into cash flow. Surya's got that one.
What if I told you a K-pop movie just cooled Hollywood on a financial scalability? Netflix K-pop Demon Hunters didn't just break views, it built a billion-dollar ecosystem. After 18 weeks, the films hit over 400 million views, still climbing. Now, it's jumping from Netflix to cinemas, with a special sing-along screening this Halloween. That's not just fan service, that's market expansion strategy, turning online demand into offline revenue. Mattel and Hasbro just inked a licensing deal with Netflix. Toys, games, and collectibles all tied to this one IP. Every product adds to its profit chain, a textbook example of intellectual property monetization. And the film's hit song, Golden, performed by its fictional K-pop group, has already generated billions in royalties. A reminder that music can power entire brand economies. K-pop Demon Hunters isn't just entertainment, it's proof that creative IPs are financial assets. From Netflix stream to toy sales, every click becomes cash flow. So, would you invest in the next billion-dollar franchise before it hits 400 million views?
Thanks, Surya. That's how you turn views into value. Now, from streaming to software. Microsoft's ending the Windows 10 era. And trust me, it's not just a tech move, it's a business play. JP's got the breakdown.
Imagine waking up and your computer says, "Bro, I'm done working." Well, that's kind of what just happened. Microsoft has officially ended support for Windows 10, closing the chapter on a system that powered over a billion devices worldwide for nearly a decade. But before you panic, let's decode the real reason behind this move. Microsoft says it's about innovation and security. But let's be honest, it's also about optimization and profit. Windows 10 was built before the AI era. Keeping it updated costs time and billions in maintenance. By ending support, Microsoft frees up resources to focus on Windows 11, a platform designed around AI, cloud integration, and tighter hardware security. In other words, they're cleaning house to build a smarter and profitable future. Now, here's where the finance angle hits hard. This isn't just a software sunset, it's a business reset. By phasing out Windows 10, Microsoft pushing consumers and companies to upgrade hardware, buy new licenses, and subscribe to AI-powered like Copilot. That's billion in potential revenue for PCs makers like Dell, HP, and Lenovo, and a long-term cash flow for Microsoft ecosystem. And that shiny Copilot feature, that's the gateway to recurring income. Think Netflix, but for productivity. Each upgrade keeps users tied to Microsoft AI infrastructure, and Wall Street loves that kind of predictable profit system. While most of the users see the end of Windows 10, investors see the start of Microsoft's next gold rush. Back to you, Ply.
Smart strategy. Retire the old one, cash in on the new one. Speaking of big money moves, Wall Street's top CEOs are stacking bonuses like it's 2007 all over again. Christine's got the full story.
You know, it's literally been a great year to be a Wall Street CEO. The heads of America's biggest banks are so comfortable right now. Higher interest rates and a strong stock market have pushed their shares up more than 20% in just the past year. And here's something we haven't seen since 2007, before the global financial crisis, before Lehman Brothers collapse. Even back when Steve Jobs was showing off the first iPhone. We are talking about JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup had a CEO who also runs their own fund, Citigroup Jen Fraser, just joined that group this week, taking on the title of chair. The first time the bank had the same person in both roles since before the crisis. She follows Wells Fargo Charlie Scharf, who got promoted to chair a few months ago, and Morgan Stanley Ted Big, who took that spot in January. And you might be thinking, okay, why does that even matter? Now, The bank say this shows confidence and stability, that these leaders have earned the trust to run things their way. And to be fair, they are doing well. Profits are up, investors are happy, and the Citigroup stock alone has jumped about 53% this year. But not everyone's cheering when Jen Fraser became chair. She also got a special bonus worth about 10 million US dollar, kind of like 30 million US dollar award Wells Fargo Charlie Scoff got earlier this year. One analyst joked, "It's a big like royalty," saying, "Kings with name followed by the great usually showed off in the good times." But don't confuse brands with a bull market. Altogether, the six CEO earned broadly $212 million last year. And most of them have been to those top jobs for years. And honestly, they don't seem in hurry to leave. Citigroup Jen Fraser and Wells Fargo Charlie Scoff both receive multi-million dollar bonuses when they become chairs. So the question is, are these rewards a sign of genuine performance, or the evidence that unchecked executive power on Wall Street is back?
Profits up, power consolidated. The classic Wall Street combo. But let's head closer to home. Global politics is taking center stage as President Donald Trump lands in Malaysia for the ASEAN Summit. Manish got what that visit means for trade, diplomacy, and investor sentiment across Asia.
Is history repeating itself? For only the third time ever, a US president has set foot in Malaysia. And this time, it's Donald Trump. He arrived in Kuala Lumpur for the 13th Asian US Summit and the 20th East Asia Summit, invited by the ASEAN 2025 chairperson Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar Ibrahim. This marks Trump's first trip to Southeast Asia since beginning his second term and the first US presidential visit to Malaysia nearly in a decade. So the question is, why is Trump here? The answer is simple. He was here not for the diplomacy, but to make deals and broker peace. He met with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim discussing trade, investment, defense and security. And here's a big one. Trump mediated peace between Cambodia and Thailand, leading to the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords. However, Malaysia was the central mediator, hosting negotiations and drafting the terms of the joint declaration signed in Kuala Lumpur. The US contribution was just only providing decisive political leverage. The president threatened to impose tariffs if fighting did not cease. And his presence was requested by Cambodia to give the agreement greater legitimacy. Trump also signed major trade agreements with Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia and Thailand, covering critical minerals, technology and clean energy. These deals are set to boost Malaysia's rare earth sector and open new US markets for local industries. Now let's talk about some business data. In 2024, the total Malaysia-US trade reached an estimated $86.5 billion. The US exported $27.6 billion in goods to Malaysia, while importing $52.5 billion, resulting in a goods trade deficit of $24.9 billion for the United States. In services, the US exported $4 billion and imported $2.4 billion, giving the US a service trade surplus of $1.6 billion. Overall, Malaysia maintained a strong trade surplus with the United States in 2024. So what does all this mean for Malaysia? It boosts investors' confidence, opens markets and strengthens the tech and clean energy industries for Malaysia. It also positions Malaysia as a strategic player in the Indo-Pacific region, right between the US and China. For businesses, it means easier trade, faster investments approvals, and the new US partnerships in electronics, manufacturing, and critical minerals. So, from peace talks to trade wins, Trump's visit is more than a political movement. It's a power move shaping the future of Asia's economy, and this time Malaysia stands right at the center of the global stage. So Ploy, what do you think? Could this visit change Malaysia's business future?
That's wild, Manish. Trump's influence on markets never seems to fade, does it? Every tweet, every policy tease, it still sends shockwaves through all Wall Street. Definitely one to keep an eye on. And that wraps up today's Market Core. From pop hits to profit shifts and political plays. It's clear, markets don't just move on money, they move with momentum. I'm Ploy. Thanks for watching Market Core. Stay tuned, subscribe, and join us next time as we decode the stories shaping tomorrow's economy. See you soon!